We don't know for sure when people came to the land we think of as Texas, although most scientists now agree that people have been here for at least 16,000 years. Their descendants eventually became the diverse tribes and groups that were here when the first Spanish person limped ashore. And they're still here today. Today, Texas is home to lots of different people with different ideas about our origins. Stories about beginnings are fundamental to our identities, especially when those stories are connected to deeply held religious and spiritual beliefs. So, what do Native Americans say about their origins? Well, it's complicated. Native peoples are diverse. Today, there are hundreds of different tribal and Native communities. Each has their own cultural traditions and origin stories passed down through the generations. Each community tells their own sacred stories, but there are some common themes. For example, several communities tell stories of creation that connect them to their homelands. The peoples of the Caddo Confederacy shared a language, although there were many separate groups. One Caddo creation account says that their ancestors once lived in a lower world of darkness and were led up into this land by the first chief, who was Nish, the moon. Nish divided his people into groups with leaders. Each leader beat a drum and sang to lead the way. Nish warned the people to not look back at the darkness behind them. Following the sound of the drums, the people emerged from a cave-like opening, but not everyone made it. Some looked back and the darkness took them. The people who had emerged stopped to cry for those left behind. Their sorrow was so great that their tears created a lake. The people named their new land Chakanina, Land of the Crying Place. This story, still told today, connects the Caddo peoples to their homeland. Far to the west, the land is dry and dotted with rugged mountains. In this environment, rain and snow from high atop the mountains feed tiny streams and rivers which nurture life. The Mescalero Apache share traditions which teach that mountains are sacred, especially Sierra Blanca, or White Mountain. On this mountain, White Painted Woman gave birth to 2 sons, Child of Water and Killer of Enemies, during a turbulent thunderstorm. During that time, the world was filled with terrifying reptiles. But White Painted Woman raised her sons to be brave warriors. They destroyed the monsters of the earth and saved humanity. White Mountain is one of 4 sacred mountains that lie within the homeland of the Mescalero Apache people. Mescalero Apache traditions teach respect for these important landmarks and honor their life-giving role. Further south, many distinct groups of Native peoples lived in what are now part of Texas and Mexico. Together, they are called the Cualitecan people. One Cualitecan group tells of their origin through a sacred spring. At first, the ancestors lived in a shadowy underworld. A celestial deer guided and helped the people through the darkness. Looking up, they saw a shimmering portal. The people swam up into this world and emerged in the cold, clear water of the San Marcos Springs. The people climbed onto the earth and rejoiced. Knowledge of life-giving springs would have been fundamental to the Cualitecans and other Native peoples. These are just a few examples, but each points to a special relationship between modern Native peoples and the landscape of Texas. Visit the Educator's Guide section for links to full stories.